Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you here today. You're welcome for another day's Zoom session. We were here yesterday and today we're here, so I hope it's been a profitable day or a day that you have tried to put your risk management in place. So as we wait for other people, I will welcome you for today's session. You can unmute yourself and say something if you wish. Maria?
Hey Eric, hey everyone. You're welcome. I remember during the day we saw so many comments about the spikes, and we shall get to that part of talking about psychology and risk management. Because guys, if the risk management is bad, then you're out of the game. You need to always protect your trading capital so that you stay in the game, so that you get to live another day, another trading day. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to today. Today is midweek analysis, and I hope everyone is. Guys, you're welcome.
Today we are going to have a short meeting because nothing much has happened today. I also want us to go and listen to the 4MC minutes that will be announced from 9 p.m. our time here. So if you have some bundles, save some for Bloomberg. All this chaos in the market is because of what we're waiting for tonight and tomorrow. So please make sure you follow in closely. Chamex, thank you very much. You're welcome. Jose, good to see you. Naomi, Rose, you're welcome. Good to see some ladies in the house. Where is Jenny today? Good to see ladies in the house. 4MC is a meeting that is usually chaired by Jerome Powell, who is the chairman for the Fed. And the Feds are a group of governors who help with the fiscal policies for the US. So unlike our economy here, whereby we have one governor, like former Mutebile, in the US they have a couple of them. However, their chairman is called Jerome Powell. So Jerome Powell will be speaking today and telling us about what they discussed about the interest rates. However, tomorrow we shall be having CPI, which is the measure of inflation in the US. The last time we had CPI, inflation was at around 8.5%. So we expect it to be around 8.5, or rather maybe dropped a little bit or gone up. We will all know. And anything that this group of 12 men decide is usually tailored around CPI. So as we wait, can digest that. So looking at the US dollar, a lot is not happening at the moment because most of the traders, being speculators, are waiting for the information from the CPI tomorrow and the Fed's meeting today. Again, today we will not stay here for long because we have the 4MC meeting to listen to and know what or how the market is going to go. And for those that have open trades, it can also be a good time to adjust. So looking at the last 1 day, 2 days for the US dollar, we've been printing spinning tops, small candlesticks. All the way from down here, the market came strongly. But as we were approaching this level of resistance, we found that the market was printing small candlesticks, small bodied candlesticks. As much as they are green, they are small. However, if you look closely to yesterday's candlestick, we are seeing that there is a weak rejection on the lower side. This tells me that buyers are still in control. However, they are waiting for the information either today or tomorrow to decide what to do. So based on what happens tomorrow, we will wait and see how it goes. We will go. I will look at the Japanese yen. It's been the biggest loser today. The Japanese yen has lost or has reached the lowest it has ever been in the last 20 years. So for people who have been trading USD, JPY, I've been very happy today. So you can see the yen really lost it. It has broken a long-term support. Let's see how long this support goes. Guys, you can see from my charts, the yen has gone below the low of 2002. That is over 20 something, 23, 24 years. So as of today, we've hit new lows. And for that reason, USD JPY has been buying today. USD JPY, and today it broke the resistance I've been telling you guys about. Remember when I tell you it always pays to be patient? I drew this thing last week and we said we shall be waiting for this resistance to be broken. And as you can see, as price was approaching the resistance level, it was approaching it cautiously with small candles. However, by today, I think the news coming from Japan, it was weak enough to make the dollar push through this resistance. Mind you know that Japan has been in a recession for I don't know how many years. The Bank of Japan usually prefers to do quantitative easing. They are not very aggressive with their interest rates, and for that reason, that economy has been weak for a very long time. If I can open the Japan currency and you see it, you'll see it's been dropping for a very long time, all the way since let me just look. All the way since 2012, the economy of Japan has been dropping. These guys have been in a slow recession. Nobody speaks about it, but they have been in a recession. And today, the governor said when it's allowed or when it's bad enough, they will intervene. But also how they intervene, it's not going to be very aggressive. So this shows us that these guys, they prefer, I don't know how what advantage they get from being for doing quantitative easing, but I think probably when other countries do business with them, it encourages other countries to actually purchase from them because it's cheaper. That's what I'll try to think. So today, people in Japan, they will spend more money to do business or to purchase commodities from the US or any other European nation. Why? The economy is at its lowest. And for that reason, USD JPY has been a good one for today. So let us go down the intraday time frame and we see how we would have reacted to this trade. And I'm going to go to the 1 hour. Remember, for those that have been following us, I had drawn a break and retest after this resistance line. Are you seeing how the market did? It exactly did that. I did not take any trade around here. Within that yellow patch, I did not take any trade, even in the intraday time frame. Why? Because I knew price, even if I took a trade here, my PIP target will be at this resistance. So it did not make sense for me to take any trade from here. So for now, since price broke through this resistance line and retested it, guys, I took my trades from around here. And if I took from there, my stop loss will be around there, and I will leave this thing open. I will only jump out if on the intraday time frame I see a change of structure. Those ones that are no change of structure, you know what I'm talking about. But for now, if it continues to give me higher highs, I will remain in this trade with a buy from here. So far, this is around 85 pips. So when we talk of patience, this is the patience we talk about, guys. It's around 85 pips from here. And if I'm to look at my target level, tomorrow, mark my words, or tonight, this thing will push further to even this high. Why? Because we're expecting the CPI report from US, and it might be stronger. I expect it to be stronger. So I'm just trying to look at where the next level is. Yes, price is at the exact resistance level, the resistance of 1998. This one is of 1998, but we expect price to break that and go to the one of 1990. That will be how many pips from now? From my entry level, from the entry level to there, that is going to be around 1,210 pips. 1,210 pips, and my stop loss was around 20 pips. You all see. So if I was risking $1, I was making $64. I'm going to show you something cool today. For those that haven't yet started to trade, the pair is USD JPY. This is using FXTM USD JPY. And we assume you have $100 account and you're risking maybe let's say $1,000 account, and you're risking around 1%, which is around $10. I always want people to risk little, so my stop loss was 20 pips, and 0.1 is $13. So let's say 0.08, that is $10. So if you had $1,000 and you are risking 1%, your stop loss at 20 pips you'll have put 0.08, and you can see our take profit in terms of target is 1,210 pips. So out of risking $10, you will be making $665. This is what we call proper risk management. Okay, let's look at what we've made so far. So far, we are at around 85 pips. So from risking $10, you already made 4 times that money. So how do I manage this trade? I will literally pull my stop loss at $30 to make sure that I've closed in 3x of my risk, and then I let the rest of the trades run. If price comes back and wipes me out, I've made $30 out of $10 risk. If it continues, I will make that amount that we are looking at. That's how, guys. Somebody was asking about how to manage a trade. Basically, that is what we do. You first secure some. You can pull your stop loss to break even or to an acceptable number, and then if you're willing, you let the rest of the trades run. So for USD JPY, that is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting price to continue going further, impending the news coming out from the USD. GU took out some people today. People were crying, and I told people, guys, if you continue to manage your trades from 5 minutes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you will all be subjected to these spikes. To me, it was not a spike. We drew this yesterday and we said we expect price to come to this level. What did the price do? It did not come back to the level that we expected it to go. However, this was close enough. Guys, support and resistance is a zone. If I am to think in the probabilities of order blocks, that zone will be within my last bearish order block. My last bullish order block, sorry. So when we're looking at support and resistance, it's not a line, it's a zone. So what happened? That is 4 hours. Price came with a very huge candlestick and then it just came back down. However, if I was in this, I remember this was late in the evening. If you went to 1 hour, I'm sure the candlesticks must have given you an indication. And right after that, we saw we had a pattern or something we call a spinning top, which indicated that buyers were tired. They did not know where to go. And based on the prior trend, it's a buying market. Then you find this, a spinning top. This means the market is tired or the market is confused. Immediately after that, we had this candlestick coming down. We had this candlestick coming down. Now, if you went to the 15 minutes, probably it will even be much, much, much better. You can see a series of spinning tops as the market is coming down. It went up, made this M on top, whereby if I put my RSI, if you can see this, the market made a higher high. But if I'm to put my RSI, you will see on my RSI, the market made something like this, showing weakness. Are you seeing, guys? I'm able to do this because I have done it hundreds of times before. You can see, I did not even look at this because I know when these setups come in. My RSI was showing me weakness here, and that is why I would have sold at this point. Now, the problem came in today when people, I think, were in sales, and then there was this drastic buy. Guys, if you sold from here, if you sold from here, your first take profit should be around this level. There are a couple of guys who are complaining about this spike.
The GU spike?
Yes. There are people who are complaining about this spike in the morning. Guys, this spike happened at the previous resistance support. It was expected. So anyone who was caught here, I would say it's because they were trying to trade 15 minutes probably. When you go to 15 minutes, the market you'll ideally look at the market as a spike because it was coming down, then all of a sudden this happens. Are we together, guys? And even if you had sold on the 15 minutes here, your stop loss will be ideally there. Are you seeing how the spike takes you out? But if you are looking at a bigger time frame, you will know that this is an area of support. Are you seeing how my RSI tells me of the divergence, weakness to the sellers? It's making lower lows as my RSI is making higher highs. This is already an indication that the market is now changing back momentum to the buyer side. When I get this divergence, prices at support, I'm having a series of small candlesticks. I jump out of the sell opportunity. I close my sell orders. How many pips were this from yesterday if you took this trade? Around 218 pips. Some good money, guys. That's a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you want to be a scalper, I always maintain, be a very, very, very clever or patient or disciplined scalper. Otherwise, you will keep giving back money to the market. This one I can assure you. Even me, when I started, I was a scalper. It looks sweet because ideally you think of it's easy money. I can make money 10 times in a day. But there are things you will not see coming. As I've said today, we're not going to do much because the market is currently just moving sideways. There was also this, since the same spike was there in gold around 7 in the morning. Yeah, around the same price. But again, if you look at this chart, it was at support. So ideally today, guys, these are the days where you stay away from the market. Apart from UJ, USD, JPY, the rest of the pairs will just be showing you a sideways movement until the news of today and tomorrow pass. Anyone who has a question?
How do I relate fundamentals with my chart? And I come out with the conclusion that I'm going short or long.
First of all, you have to analyze the fundamentals. Secondly, if you're a scalper, it's very hard. If you are a long-term trader, most of the time, the fundamentals are already included in the charting. Guys, I do not trade fundamentals, I trade technicals. But fundamentals just confirm to me of my technicals. I think yesterday I told you GU was going to drop, and barely 1 hour after we had a meeting at 8, and by 9:50 GU made this long wick down. So I only feed in my fundamentals to what I am already seeing on the chart, because all this stuff is always discounted on the chart. However, when I know the fundamentals are going according to my analysis, it gives me more confidence to take in the trades. So about you understanding fundamentals, it will come with time, but just keep practicing. I cannot tell you that this is how, because we analyze fundamentals differently. Sometimes you can have good information which is not good enough for traders. Are we together?
Yes, we're together.
Yeah, and if traders think that the information was not good enough, they will react negatively, or vice versa of the news. This is why you find sometimes in news you will find a candlestick like this with a very long wick on either side. Why? The traders reacted both ways. They reacted one side and then they pushed one side, then they came back in the middle. However, if you see such things, price will always continue in terms of the bigger time frame analysis. If anything like this happens, eventually price will, if the market was going down on the bigger weekly chart, this market will continue to go down after the news. So I cannot tell you the best way how to use fundamentals, but keep following. You will understand these things with time. I'm expecting Euro USD to move sideways until we know the direction. Okay, let me look at Euro as a pair itself. Euro as a pair itself, we see it's been selling. However, in the last 2 days, yesterday we had a doji spinning top. Today might end as a doji spinning top, meaning people are waiting to see what might happen. People are waiting to see what might happen. On the intraday time frame, we see we have this long base of support here. So I will ideally place that and then maybe have this one here on top and see how the market reacts within that zone. But again, because the news that we are waiting for is from the US dollar, I expect, or I think this thing will just break this retest and then aim for the lower side. Guys, I am not very sure, but I'm 80% sure the Feds are going to increase the interest rates tomorrow. Today, probably today or tomorrow, by around 75 basis points. And if this happens, the US dollar will go up massively. And if that happens, Euro will be dropping. So for Euro USD, that is just the Euro alone. For Euro USD, will be basically what I'm talking about. Break this and then aim for this low here. Now, removing the factor of news, let us do the bigger time frame analysis and see what tells us. As I've said, news will always feed in. Price already has news discounted in lower lows and lower highs. So guys, if I pull this out, this is how euro has been moving. And right now, price, this shooting star here is at this point. So already the shooting star is telling us that price rejected the upper side strongly, and now it's just looking for momentum to come back down. If I go to my daily chart based on the same information, we just have to break this. If I look at my RSI is actually coming from a point of resistance again. So it still has enough gas to push to the lower side. So I'm very bearish for Euro USD. We might break this, retest, and go further down based on the news that comes out tomorrow or today. So unless you have a question, we should be heading to Bloomberg to watch what Jerome Powell says. If you have any trades, try and manage them. I'm not going to tell you to close them. I'm not going to tell you to enter other trades, because no, just wait for the market. If it happens as we've said, you will go on a smaller time frame and execute tomorrow. Any question? Ladies and gentlemen, I think in 5 minutes we will call this an evening.
Thank you so much, Eric. Eric, I see somebody in the chat asking for USD CAD.
Maybe Julius, you can tell me what you mean by drawing RSI line in the chart.
How to draw the trend rate on the RSI to correspond with what? With the trend rate at the chart.
Like to draw something down here like this?
Yeah.
Do you use TradingView, or what application do you use for your trading?
MetaTrader.
MetaTrader. The same way, you just pick this line. The same way you draw a line on your chart is the same way you will draw a line on your RSI. However, this is you just don't draw lines. We look for something we call divergence. Divergence is when price is making, for example, if we are looking at for selling opportunities, price is making higher highs, and RSI is making lower highs. Probably RSI will come and do something like this. So there is divergence in price. As price is going higher high, RSI is already telling us that the price is losing momentum. Let me show you an example very fast, then we come back to USD CAD. I'm going to do a bigger time frame, maybe like the weekly. Price is making lower lows, and your RSI is making the same lows. So for this case here, RSI did not make a lower high, a higher high, but it made the same lows. That tells you that price is gaining momentum. And initially you can see after that, price went up. Sometimes you'll have perfect examples of that. You can see here, price was making the same lows, but RSI made a higher high. I think if time allows us, Timothy will take you in some of these when we come to looking at indicators and how indicators help you to make a decision. So we shall go very fast to USD CAD. USD CAD on the daily chart, it is at resistance. Again, since it's paired with the US dollar, we will be waiting for what happens from the US dollar, but possibly we might have a break and retest. However, when I look at my RSI, it's telling me that there is some weakness in the USD, so we wait and see. because there's a divergence here. So for that reason, we will wait and see what happens tomorrow. Guys, when you're using indicators, we only use indicators to confirm. We don't use indicators to decide. Now, if I go to the weekly chart, the weekly chart will give me a support zone around here. So which price can as well push to that level and eventually come to these highs here. So according to me now, bigger time frame looks to be at that resistance level. If I look at the weekly chart, buyers was strongly in charge. Then we had this red candlestick which had a very strong rejection to this downer side. This tells me that sellers tried to come in at this resistance, but they failed. Yes, the candlestick closed lower than it opened, but on the lower side of it, if you look at the rejection, it's quite big. So this tells me buyers are still in. They have not yet given up on this market. On the intraday time frame, 4 hours, I'm still seeing the resistance, so I will wait for a break and retest. If we are going to go selling, I'll be looking at this zone. If this zone is broken, then we shall be selling USD CAD. But from the fundamentals from the US, I'm biased going the bull side. I'll even put a trend line here just to remind me that this is a buyer's market and I should not think anything rather than buying at least until the market gives me another idea. I will only sell this thing if we break under here. Price could come, play around here and push up. So that is it. So we just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. So guys, see you tomorrow. Have a good night.